Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, this is our workshop, and why am I showing you this big mess is because in between building a couple of work vans and upgrading work vans, I've decided to put in some more shelving. Right, so going back, I don't know, probably 6 months, 8 months, we put these shelvings in here, as you can see. Well, no, mainly I did it all. So that's the shelvings in there. So they were 80mm tube steel, all made up, cut, welded, and then wooden veneer on the front to make it look nice, and then coming down onto the sides as well. So anyway, that took a lot of time, and we put in air conditioning as well. But now we've got to look at this side. Now these type, I guess you could say, sheds come with these pillars, which are nasty. They're in the way. So building around them and coming up with shelving to incorporate them is just a headache. You can see over here how I've done these ones. You can see the two poles and then the one behind it. So these shelves are supported by those two legs, nothing to do with the original pillar. They're just in front of it. And they do, you know, kind of look pretty good. If you look at them from this way and you look at them from that way, you can see they're all in line. So not so bad. Coming over here, I decided that to cut and weld and to do this type of thing is going to take me months. So I've decided to cheat a little bit and use pallet racking. So these pallet rackings here are 4 meters high, giving us enough room for a bench down the bottom, a storage there and a storage there, and we can put some doors on it. Using a couple of old beams, we can use these as mounts to weld some hinges on and prefab some, or fabricate some doors like this to go over the front, giving it the same look and doing some wood paneling behind it and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just basically showing how it looks now. We've got our two big huge fans up the top to suck all the air out of this joint, and then what we're going to do is build something in the middle. These come at pre-made sizes, so I think you got like 3020, 27, 25, so they're all the wrong sizes, just absolutely wrong sizes. So the only way I can do this is get the biggest size I can to fit in that space, and then custom make a cupboard in the middle, and then do the same over here, and then do the same over here, and then, you know, hopefully not cutting and welding too many of these beams, but we will actually have to put in some custom made beams here and there to tidy it up. This is my scissor lift, pretty good for 1,800 bucks, still working strong. I've used that to wire up this this place here, because the wiring, I'll show you, see, it's all in the channel. Then it goes down, whoop, then it goes back up. So all that sort of stuff was done using the scissor lift. Bought it secondhand, 1,800 bucks, plus this, plus freight, plus it needs new batteries. You get about 20 minutes off a full charge, and I'll change the batteries when that annoys me too much. All right, so just looking back over here, yeah, so this is what it looks like now with this pallet type racking, and unfortunately we're going to be left with all the holes in it here, you can see, but it should come to life once the bench is on, once the cupboard's on, once there's some fridge underneath it. I've got the power ready there in the blue, you can see, so that will help out when times are needed, and we'll get some downlights in that. So hopefully it'll be bay 1, bay 2 and bay 3 over here, and that will be corresponding with what's kind of over here, bay 1, bay 2, so with a bit of that wood paneling at the back. This is what it looks like now. These are the type of beams. They've Dexion, I think, is the brand, where you just slot them in, bang them down. They've got this safety here, so once they slot in, you can't kind of knock them back up, or they won't come out of their slot too easily. And they're rated, work cover rating and all that sort of stuff. So on that shelf there, I can probably get a good 200 to 300 kilo. They're what they call picking shelves. A lot of the time when you buy these beams, they're just square, so there's no lip here. With these ones over here, I've gone for the lip, meaning that I can just drop a piece of wood in there and we're good to go. On the downside to that is that they don't carry as much weight. As you can see, the lip, so that's the lip, and that's what it looks like underneath. So they're just boards on top, and that's exactly the same. My painting job is kind of terrible there, but it's okay, no one will see it. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Leave your comments down below. I have seen a few other people using this type of pallet racking for their workshops. A lot of people do use this type one, and they put like a mesh that comes around the top. Look, if looks aren't your thing and you're not worried about it, then definitely do that. But if you're like me and you prefer to make it look kind of sexy and nice, then step to the way to go, but you're limited on your sizes. They're more rare than just standard box ones. They don't carry as much load, and they're not built the same because they're designed as picking shelves, so they're always going to be a low type weight limit. This is what it looks like at the moment, so just documenting it because in about 3 to 4 months it's probably going to look a lot different. Over here I'm hoping to have some sort of kitchen and bar area with fridge, dishwasher, all that sort of stuff. In the middle here we're going to have a stainless bench with some sort of storage behind it. Stainless tool chest with storage behind it. Then we're going to have an open bay, very similar to this one. Open bay here with some sort of vise, allowing you to work on things there. Then we'll have storage and storage. All this will be accessible by the scissor lift. Over here is going to be real funky. We've got the hydraulic controller that's going to go in the middle. Then we're going to have the racking, same as what we're going over here. We'll have the open bench, then we'll have storage, and then storage up there. And then on the side there, between the power and the end of the bay, we've got to incorporate some of the heavy stuff, such as the engine crane and hydraulic engine crane, the fold-out one, and a couple of cross beams for this scissor lift. I'm just using it as a platform at the moment because, got no more room. Everything's busy. So this is what it looks like. Looks like a complete mess. Everything very, very messy. Very, very messy. But it'll all be cleaned up and it'll all look pretty spectacular sooner or later. And then we have to get back to this bench. What to do with this bench? This is a big bench, a sacrificial bench, really handy, really good. But at the moment, it's just got 5 different projects stacked on top of on top of on top. So, yeah. And then this area here might be a high bar table or something along those lines, finished off with the wood paneling and things. The big fan's staying because that blows a lot in summertime. Really, really nice. And then everything else just needs a bit of cleaning, I think. So yeah, a lot of work to do. And then hopefully once we've made room and all this stuff goes in its proper spots, this will be a nice workshop. But the problem is, to do this you have to move all that stuff, put it somewhere else, make the thing, then do the doors, put it all back in there, all nice, neat, labelled. But then again, it's one of those things you only do, once every so many years when you move in and move out. But yeah, what a mess. Do you feel sorry for me with my mess or what? But that's okay, it'll tidy up. But I am liking these pallet rackings. This one here in cost-wise came in at, I was able to get this whole thing here for $700. So that's $700, so that's not so bad. That's comparative to the materials I would use in making one of these bays here. One of these bays was probably about $1,500. So $700 for this is okay. The speed factor of just being able to slap it up, me and my son, we put this one up, took us about an hour, really quick. So putting them up and assembling them is not a problem. I also had to screw the frame together. Normally the frame this one here comes all pre-made, but of course I wanted to paint it, so I got mine in parts form. Took me an extra 20 minutes to put it together. Took nothing. The beams themselves, there's a lot of people on Facebook selling the beams for $25-30. They've been out in the weather, they're rusty. They weren't that much more to just buy brand new. So if anyone's looking for their workshop to go to beam pallet racking, just buy brand new. It's not that much. When you consider it here, each bay is going to cost me about $700. So that's not too bad. That's $2,000 for 4 meters high, and it's about 10 meters long. So 4x10, that's a lot of storage. Plus I'll be doing some custom ones with some old beams, chopping them up, making it tidy. None of that's necessary. One of the other things to factor in is your wood per level or your mesh that goes over the top to hold it in. Factor that in because you can be charged $35 for a piece of material, and you might need 3 of them, so $100 per level. Other than that, bolting them in is quite easy. Putting them together is quite easy. But if you're in your workshop and you're thinking, oh geez, I'd like to have a big, strong, solid shelf, this is the way to go. This stuff here, don't buy secondhand, just buy brand new. I mean, the frames themselves cost one side $170. That's not too bad. That's full price. I don't think I paid full price because I got the whole lot for about $700. So the beams themselves do add up, the levels do add up, but when you're talking about the amount of volume that you can store, it's really good. And if you're comparing it to having to get the grinder out, cut, weld and measure and build something like this, then yeah, it's definitely a lot better than that. But I decided to go this way because my logic is I can get it up quicker, I can assemble it in real quick. I get my shelves, which are really good, they're really strong, it's all load rated. And on top of that, the only downside that I didn't like were these silly holes here. And I thought I could always put a fascia on the front. That's like an indent, that's a flat surface. So I can come up with some sort of way, that's protruding because that's that. I can come up with some way of making that look nice, or I just live with those slotted holes and not worry about them. They don't really stand out too much. Once you see the wood paneling in between and all the rest, I don't think it's even going to make any difference. So that's what we're kind of up to now. That's my plumbing. So I've got a drainage, hot and cold coming in. Couple of power points, 15 amps, so that I can run my commercial dishwasher, a dishwasher that washes 100 glasses in like 60 seconds. A little bit overkill, but doesn't matter. And these two bays here, so this will be mainly automotive, this will be mainly tools, power tools, things like that. And it would be nice just to have everything sorted out because there's a lot of things to, we've got nut certs, water tester, injectors, cleaner, all that sort of stuff, all this sort of stuff that you have in a workshop. If you don't have anywhere to put it and it piles up like this, it becomes non-usable, damaged. So by having good shelving and putting it away, numbering it, labeling it, all that sort of stuff makes it usable, practical, and being able to be kept clean and not be damaged, because all of it's pretty much like an investment. So that's where this comes in. So yeah, leave your comments down below. This is the before, and I will do a video after. I'm not going to videotape putting it all together. It's just too painful. And also the painting of it as well, just too painful. So if I was to videotape all that, you guys would just fall asleep. But pretty much painting is painting, right? You know what that is. Assembling this sort of stuff, there's heaps of videos online about how these just clip in. You basically just put it in the holes, give it a whack with a rubber hammer, the little safety pin drops in, this little thing here, and that's it. You're good to go. So me and my son put this together with modifications because we had to modify around this pipe here about an hour. It wasn't long. If this was freestanding, this would be a 20-minute job with a couple of ladders. So anyway, leave your comments down below, and thanks for watching. And hopefully I'll have this done in a few months, and then you'll be able to see the next part of it. Thanks for watching.